All right. Saturday night again, baby. I love it. Who loves it? You love it? I love it.
I love it.
I like it a lot.
You know, I don't like it as much as I do Sundays, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm going to have to agree with you on that one.
Of course, because I'm always right.
Yeah, I know.
I'm off camera, but I'm right.
Yeah. There's that Paul Watcher guy again.
Yeah, he's a stalker.
All right, I'm going to have to fix your phone, bro. Okay.
How's everybody out there in TikTok land doing?
TikTok.
I don't know if anybody's watching. There might be a few people.
Well, somebody will be.
Eventually.
Give them a minute.
Yeah. How was your week?
Oh, well, just truck driving.
So you didn't drive a whole lot or anything? Like 10,000 miles or something?
10,000. Yeah, I'd like to see that paycheck.
Yeah. Yeah, right? Yeah, I would too. That's why I'm
right,
hoping you for a loan. Like, hey, brother.
Yeah, I'd like to see that paycheck. That'd be all right. Not there, buddy. So I go to work Monday. I do everything, get the truck ready. I'm going around with it looking for my trailer to hook up. It's already on the yard loaded to take it off and go on.
Right.
Cannot find it. Look in the shop, look on the yard, look everywhere. So I go in and I talk to everybody. I'm like, can you track my trailer? I don't see it out here. They track it, and guess where it's located? With a Des Moines, Iowa logo on it.
Where?
New Mexico. Yeah.
How did it wind up in New Mexico?
This team hooked up to the wrong number trailer, didn't look at the bills, didn't look at the BOL to match the trailer to the bills and see the destination on the bills. They just grabbed the bills and threw them in the seat and went on. Right? Got all the way to New Mexico before we found out what was going on. So I had to come up with I had to save the day. So since they had their screw up, they had to turn around and backtrack 17 and a half hours. I drove from Mount Airy, North Carolina, all the way to New Baden, Illinois in one day.
That's some hauling right there. I don't care who you are.
It was 659 and a half miles. And I managed to get there, managed to find a little spot to put the truck, because by the time I got there, it was so dark that, the Love's truck stop is absolutely slammed.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Now, did you take a trailer with you?
Yeah, I took their load. Okay, the one that they were supposed to have that's going all the way to Oakland, California. Right. So I get there. They wake me up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I switch the trailer out, get back in the spot I was parked in, and finally got back on track. And I managed to get back on track when I was trip planning to cut through the woods to get to Des Moines because it delivered Wednesday.
Yeah.
So instead of having to worry about any issues, I went and I just cut up through the state roads instead of staying on the freeways. And I managed to make it there in about 6.5 hours. So I get there, get my spot, I go to bed, and everything's right with the world. But by the time I get there, I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Because they broke
the amount of miles you drove.
They broke my sleep, man.
Yeah,
my sleep got broke.
Yeah, talking about when they woke you up at 3
a.m. Yeah, it's like 2:45 in the morning. I've already drove almost 700 miles in one day, and I'm beat, and I'm asleep in my clothes.
Yeah,
which sucks already.
Oh yeah, you can't get comfortable.
And I get up and there I am. Wow, we got people coming in already. That's wonderful. That's fantastic. Airplanes and trains lover. I love planes.
Yeah.
My daddy was a big plane lover.
My daddy was a pilot.
Yeah. My dad, his favorite plane was F4U Corsair.
Yeah.
And mine was P-51 Mustang. It's the prettiest thing I ever seen, man.
Cool.
So sleek. Looks like a freaking race car, man, like a Ferrari. That sucker was nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah, loved it. And I love the B-17 Flying Fortress. Man, good stuff. Good stuff.
I actually know a guy that worked on the stealth bomber.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, I don't know him, but I got to meet him. Went to a call, and the guy was talking to me. And,
what'd you do to your hand, bro?
oh, it's just paint.
Oh, I was going to say you look like you just hit it with a hammer.
Yeah, I had too many thumbs. But yeah, he said he was from California, and I was like, what in the world are you doing in Yankton County, North Carolina? He's like, well, when I retired from the blah, blah, blah agency, I was like, he's like, yeah, you might have heard of one of my projects back in the 80s. I'm like, yeah, sure, I know about Air Force. And he's like, stealth bomber? He
worked on the stealth bomber?
He was one of the designers. One of many, many dozens.
That is so cool, man. That is so cool.
But he said the reason he moved here was for the golf. Wow. Is it better than it is in California?
Yeah, I wish I could just go, man, I tell you, I wish I could find a mom and pop's place that makes homemade pasta.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's a place. I'm going to move 500 miles and live there just for that.
Just for good eating. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Well, fortunately, I've got a wife that does good cooking, so I don't have to move. And I know you.
Hey, Deborah. How you, honey? Keep reposting that.
She's entertaining guests at the house.
Yeah, that's cool. Come on in.
Got a house full of kids.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. We were talking about me and him. Initially, this idea came up over the phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as we got deeper into it, we were like, you know what? Yes, we are a Christian podcast, but what we try to do is apply spiritual things to, everyday life.
Yeah.
So, the good part about this is first of all, we want to make all you Christians out there, we want you to help you calm down, because I know what you're seeing on the television and hearing on the radio and things like that. It gets your heart beating pretty quick. You worry about all this, because all you hear is negative. So you don't really have a chance. You don't think about going and digging and trying to find out what's actually going on,
Yeah.
So do not base your beliefs off of the media, because, they just want you to know what they want you to know. Okay. That being said, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about Persia. And we know who Persia is. Mm-hmm. The Persian people. They live in Iran. Most of them are in Iran. And as you can tell that, right now that they're wanting to be free. They want to be free.
Yeah.
Okay. And we know that the ruling party over the Iranian people have a totally different belief system than the people that they were over. Okay. And I can tell you this, there are whole lots and lots and lots of Christians in Iran.
It blew my mind when I found out how big a population of Christians.
Yeah, it's huge, ain't it?
Yeah, I mean, you think Iran, that's where Paul Abdul's people were from.
Yeah.
They were Christian, and they left back in 78, 79, whenever it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a huge Christian nation.
It is. Well, I listened to a few podcasters. I'm known to listen to a Sean Hannity every once in a while. I call him Sean Sanity instead of Hannity. Yeah. But I think my all-time favorite is Mark Levin, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay, the great one. Yeah, Mark Levin is one of those people that knows the Constitution, the Federalist Papers by heart. This man knows everything there is to know about the foundation of the United States of America, how it was founded, what it was founded on, everything. He knows it by heart. And he's truly a patriot,
Yeah.
But there's, like we was talking earlier, I have some issues with one thing. And I thought we might just get this out of the way out first. Is that okay with you?
Absolutely.
Right now, we are going over and we are destroying a radical Muslim faction. Okay? Simply because they were so close to having 90% enriched uranium, they could have built thousands of warheads that can reach California, that can reach the United States. And if they're that radical and they want America to be unalive,
Yeah.
and they want Israel to be unalive, and that's what they believe, and they'll die for that belief, then
And they've stated that multiple times.
many times. And I'm going to explain to you who Persia is. They're all over the whole entire history of mankind. It basically started with Jacob's children, but those that think this is wrong, I want you to realize that we're not fighting a fleshly war here. I have stated this so many times that it makes my mouth dry. At any given moment, all over the whole entire place around you, there is a war going on in the spirit. There is a war against evil and there's a war against good, constantly, nonstop, every moment. Have you noticed that these are religious things that, I mean, really? I mean, why throughout all of history would the Jew be pointed out for destruction?
I mean, I know the
Philistines, right? What was it? Philistines, Persians,
Yeah. Egyptians,
Libyans.
Mm-hmm. Now it seems like a lot of people in America too, but that's for a different time.
Actually, that's where I was headed.
Okay, I got you.
If we're going over here and we're destroying a faction that hates us and wants us not to be alive, why are we dealing with the same thing going on in our nation at the very same time? I saw a video of a place in Michigan where they were, whoever the leader was, this man mentioned jihad 5 times
Publicly
in a 15-minute video. 5. In our country, on our soil. Now, if they are, so this is the kicker, if they are a legitimate United States citizen, then they are covered under the First Amendment, and they have a right to speak however they want to speak. Right? So not only are we fighting that enemy across the ocean, we have them here. And they're in the White House.
the halls of Congress.
In the halls of Congress. A nation that is 250 years old has the enemy in the congressional seats.
Making decisions, contributing to laws that we have to live with.
Anyone who would decide during wartime to not fund the very things that we need to help protect our nation is the enemy.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sorry, but they are. And if you'll step back, you'll realize that. So what I would say to my fellow Christians out there and also my Patriots. This is for you guys on Jim's page, okay? And I know it'll be some on mine as well. Number one, pray. Number two, don't worry. Jesus Christ himself said, don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't fear. Okay, it says 365 times in that Bible, do not fear. Okay, so don't fear. Okay, if you're truly a Christian and you're covered by the blood of Christ, you ain't worrying about this stuff. Now, I'm not saying don't protect your family. That's not what I'm saying, because I'll gun up in about 0.1 seconds if I have to.
And make preparations. I mean, have some extra supplies on hand.
Right. Just, be ready to protect yourself and your family. But pray for these people that are in the line of fire.
Yeah.
Okay. From what I'm seeing with the Iranian people over there, women throwing their hijab off, man, and just praising God and thanking Trump and thanking the United States for helping them be free, because they've been under the heel, under the thumb for so many years. And when you see that, it swells up my patriotism that I have for my nation. You get what I'm saying? It makes me more proud to be a United States citizen. And it makes me want to love and protect my country even more than I feel like I should today.
And it makes you wonder, the people that are against it, what are their motivations?
Yeah.
Why would you
Yeah.
actively want people to be oppressed? The same politicians that claim, yeah, absolutely.
It's power.
The same politicians that claim, we want to free this people, we want to free that people, but when they have the opportunity to actually put boots to the ground and action to words,
mm-hmm.
no, we don't do that.
Right.
It's because they're getting kickbacks, possibly, allegedly, from these nations that want to keep oppressing people.
Right. Now, take what he just said and then think back on what I said about this being a battle, a spiritual battle of good and evil. And remember what I said about it going on around you every second of every day. Okay, I want to refer you to the book of Daniel, chapter 9. Daniel was prostrate on the ground, and he started praying and fasting. He prayed and he fasted for 21 days. Okay? The archangel Michael comes down and visits him. He looks at Daniel and he says, "We heard you when you first started praying. But it took me this long to get here because I was in a battle with the spirit of Persia." So God heard his prayer right off the bat, because the prayers of a righteous man availeth much, right? And Daniel was a righteous man. So the moment he started praying and fasting, God heard it. And he sent the angel to give him the message for the last days, the 70 weeks, right? But it took him 21 days to get there because he was fighting the spirit of Persia. Every nation has its own spirit, even the United States. So what I'm saying is when you see the news and you watch the radical left not stand up for its own own citizens going through terrible, terrible things, some of it from which that stems from what they started
and allowed,
and still not stand. Something as simple as feeling bad for a mother whose daughter got stabbed to death on camera And the whole world got to watch her die. And the woman is standing there and she is bawling. Her eyes are swollen because she's mourning so hard still for the loss of her daughter. And they still will not stand up.
No heart. No
okay, now if you have any common sense at all, there's only one word for that, and it's called enemy. Mark Levin said the same thing. They're the enemy within. They don't want us to prosper. Now, don't look at the flesh. Don't look at the sinner. Look at the sin. They are overcome with a spirit. Okay? They have a spirit on them. And they are overcome with it. And there's absolutely nothing we can do about it short of the citizens taking it back by force. Now we can go and we can vote. Can we not?
Yeah.
We can, every one of us, just decide, you know what, this time I'm going to go R. Not because we like the people we're voting for, but just simply because we have got to keep the other one in power, because if the other gets in power, it's over, man. It's over.
That's why the midterms are so...
The midterms, oh my gosh, they're so important, guys. When November gets here, get off your butt and get your butt out there and vote and keep us in power so we can protect this country. Phew. Okay, now that I've ranted about that, see, yeah, I can be a Christian, but I can also be a patriot, and I can also love my country and want to see my children and my grandchildren prosper.
Yeah.
Right? And I know you agree with me. So, you want to start? You want me to? Because I've already yapped for 20 minutes.
That's fine. You know what you got in front of you.
You sure?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, I'm just going to go through a couple of things. And I don't want to go through all of this. I just have some things here that I've put together because I want to make sure that people are getting what we're saying here. And just remember, as we're going, that we're talking about spiritual warfare. Okay, this is spiritual warfare.
Not flesh and blood.
It's not flesh and blood. Okay? All right, so we're going to talk about, I've been hearing on the TV, that, oh, we're in the end times, the end of the world is upon us. Okay? Let me tell you. First of all, Jesus Christ said, all of this is going to happen. Wars, rumors of wars, earthquakes in diverse places, Now, people wonder, okay, well, why is that in there? Why is the earthquakes and all this other stuff in there? Because we have to remember that since the fall of Adam and Eve, the fall of man, since that fall, the earth has been cursed too. So the earth is groaning from sin. It wasn't created to have sin on it. All right? Let me make that perfectly clear for you. There's another one. It was not made for us to live on it sinfully.
No.
The earth itself.
It was meant to be paradise.
It was meant to be paradise, but it ended up changing. Thorns and thistles because of sin. Okay? So when you hear that, the reason this has happened is the earth itself is groaning in pain. All right? That's why one minute it'll be 28 degrees and the next day it'll be 65.
Yeah.
Okay?
I never thought of it like that.
Well, I don't understand what's going on. Why is it? Man, this is really weird. No, it's the earth groaning, guys. Okay? The earth is not your home, guys. Okay? It's not. It's temporary. All of it. Even the universe. Okay. So, Persia appears in the end times war. But they're not the brains of the operation. Okay? Ezekiel 38:5. You're looking at Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. That's what it says. So most historians agree ancient Persia corresponds to modern Iran, since Persia remained the country's name until it officially changed to Iran in 1935. So it was Persia until 1935. Okay, so the Bible literally names Persia, Iran as part of a future coalition against Israel. Now, there's a list here that I want to give you guys. There's multiple regions in this that are going to join the attack. Now, there's a reason I'm doing this, because I want you to calm down, because right now it's not set up this way, and I'm going to show you why. Okay, now this list is nations that are included by biblical name in the Last Day War, basically Armageddon. Okay, Magog. That's Northern Eurasia or
Russia.
Okay, Meshech. That's a Turkish region. Tubal is a Turkish region. Persia, Iran, Cush is Sudan and Ethiopia, and Put is Libya and Gomer. And you've got the Eastern European Turkey is Togarmah, and Armenia is Turkey. All of these are going to be together as one team against the nation of Israel. And what's going to happen is, you notice the United States is not in there? Did anybody notice that? The USA is not in there. Done a couple studies on that, bro. And there's only a few things that I could come up with. One was basically we stayed neutral because we weren't really threatened.
Right.
But see, in that situation, we would have to not be geopolitically an ally with Israel, because we've been an ally with them
since 1948.
Since 1948. Okay. So that one I'm not really leaning on, because, like I say, there would have to be something very detrimental for Israel to become an enemy of the United States of America. I can't fathom that.
Yeah.
But the other was the United States being changed from the inside.
How in the world would that happen?
Gee, I don't know. Ideologies that are accepted by the population that ultimately changes how the population thinks and turns the United States from a free, God-loving, gun-slinging, protective, patriotic state that it is into something other than that. Can't imagine who would do something like that.
Yeah, I mean, why would you let the enemy inside the gates? And then, bad enough to let the enemy in the gates, but put them in power. Can you imagine Rome?
Yeah.
Telling the Goths and the Visigoths, hey, not only are you guys welcome
You
here,
guys-
you can be in charge.
yeah.
You can be senators.
You guys, I tell you what, you guys just come on in. You don't have to be a citizen. Just come on in. Here's money.
Mm-hmm.
Here's you a free identification.
Yeah.
We're going to buy your groceries for you.
And let you vote.
And we're going to let you vote. And you can even just send it in by mail. I mean, you can just change your name if you want to. It doesn't matter.
No fraud can happen there.
As long as we get a vote.
As long as you vote for the right party.
Yeah, just make sure that you do the DEM on there. And you're going to be great. We're going to take care of you.
Yeah, we're going to give you food stamps, Medicaid.
This nation,
all your wives.
This nation was built. Freedom was given by Christ. This nation was built and founded on Christian beliefs.
Well, the Constitution even says that our freedoms are granted by the Creator,
Our
not
Creator.
by the government. Every other country in the world up to that point, the government gave you your freedoms. The government gave you your liberties.
Right.
And our founding fathers were like, you know what, our liberties, take them away if you want to, but God gave them to us.
But see, a lot of what's going on is there's so many people out there that are uneducated. Mm-hmm. Like, well, back when they were in power, right? You heard all this stuff about reparations and all this stuff about slavery and all this.
Yeah.
We didn't have nothing to do with slavery.
Nope.
Do you know who started slavery?
Well, it wasn't the ones that start with the REP.
Honestly, slavery came from Britain. Mm-hmm. We were a part of Britain.
Yeah.
So slavery was a part of our economy. Mm-hmm. The cotton and all that was a part of what our economy. Okay. That's why our founders decided when we become independent that they would address this situation after we were independent, so that we could get rid of it. Because you see what happened. Okay, the Civil War happened because of it. It wasn't because everybody wanted to have a slave. It was because it was such a deep ingrained part of our money making in the colonies that if you took it away, there'd be no money. Because it was ingrained. It wasn't about the person. It was about making money. You understand? So we didn't do it. Britain did it.
My great uncle Levi
spent
3 years in a POW camp during the Civil War.
Yeah.
Now they came from Tennessee, which is a southern state.
Mm-hmm.
But the county he came from was so tied to the Union that a majority of them fought for the North.
Yeah.
And he spent 3 years starving. Now, he survived, wound up becoming a pastor, started churches that are still in operation today in East Tennessee.
Man. That's insane.
But so we've got people that have paid the price for our freedoms. And I think we had talked about this the other day on the phone, that we have a responsibility to our children and our grandchildren to ensure the same freedoms for them that our ancestors have ensured for us, our grandfathers and uncles and great-grandfathers. And again, that's why the midterms are paramount. They're just so important. Don't sit home and think, well, everybody else will vote. Yeah, everybody else might vote, but you need to get out there and vote too.
Yeah. If you truly believe what you believe, it is your duty as a free United States citizen or a patriot to get out there and do your part.
And pay attention. Look, don't just get fed information like, oh, well, Rachel Maddow said this. I know people personally that if Rachel Maddow, I'm not picking on her personally, but if she got on there and said the grass is blue and the sky is green, man, they'd go with it.
Somebody would believe her.
Question it. Don't be a sheep. Ask questions. Mm-hmm. And I don't care how you lean politically. Ask questions of both parties.
Right.
My guy's in office right now, but that doesn't mean that I'm sitting there going, everything he does is just wonderful. No, there's a lot of things I disagree with him on.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I don't agree with everything, but sure knows how to run a country.
Run it like a business.
You got that down pat, baby.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm going to go ahead and do this and get it out of the way. I was going to hold it off to the very end, but I want to be able for you guys to hear it. Have you ever heard, you see it, you see the stickers on cars, you see all this other stuff about freedom is not free. It's not.
No.
It was, our freedom from sin was paid for by Christ. And it was the only way. The shedding of that blood was the only way we were free. Or able to be free from it. Okay?
Yeah.
So in order for us to truly stay free and live by the principles that this country was established on, we've got to fight for it. We cannot just be consumers and sit around and laze around and throw all of the responsibility on the government and on our president. The man's already burning the candle at both ends. He's 78 years old, guys, or 76, 77. He's doing a great job, but he's not Superman. And he can do his best to protect your freedoms, but your freedoms are up to you. I'm going to read you something right now, if I can get through it without crying.
If you start slobbering too much, I'll take over. But
So, you guys have seen the movie Saving Private Ryan. There's a part of that movie that hits very, very, very hard. And what I want to do is show you that literally from this time, from 1776 all the way through, there has been a sacrifice. I mean, if you want to see sacrifice, go to Arlington, Virginia, and walk around. Because everyone I've talked to that's been there takes rags with them to soak the tears up, because you can feel the patriotism and the love all over your body when you walk through that cemetery.
it's tough.
It emanates up from the ground. The sacrifices that have been made for you. Okay, this is real. This really happened. And I just think it's wonderful we have access to it. And you've probably heard it, you guys, but I'm going to go ahead and say it again because it really hits home, okay? Executive Mansion, Washington, November the 21st, 1864. Dear Madam, now listen, I have been shown in the files of the War Department a statement of the Adjutant General of Massachusetts that you are the mother of 5 sons who have died gloriously on the field of battle. I feel how weak and fruitless must be any words of mine which should attempt to beguile you from the grief of a loss so overwhelming. But I cannot refrain from tendering to you, here you go, I cannot refrain from tendering to you the consolation that may be found in the thanks that the Republic they died to save. I pray that our Heavenly Father may assuage the anguish of your bereavement and leave you only the cherished memories of the loved and lost, and the solemn pride that must be yours to have laid so costly a sacrifice upon the altar of freedom. Yours very sincerely and respectfully, Abraham Lincoln. This woman lost all 5 of her sons fighting to make our country what it is. Do we really want to see it go? Do we really want to see it fall? We're getting ready to celebrate our 250th year. There's parts in that letter that ought to hit home with everybody listening to my voice right now. Did you notice that mother paid the sacrifice for our freedom? Her sons died. They sacrificed their life. But mama is the one that made the sacrifice.
She had to live with the loss.
So me and my brother could sit here and talk to you, and I could dip my snuff and spit in a bottle and get me a drink of water and get up in the morning and decide I want to go ride my bicycle or go and get me a fishing license and hang out and do whatever I want to do, and decide that, well, what do I want to be? I want to be a lawyer. Do I want to be a doctor? What do I want to be? A scientist, a physicist, a teacher. Because all I have to do is just make that decision in my heart And I can be that simply because I live in the greatest country that has ever been created by God, that allows me to be whatever my heart says I want to be. Now, if she can sacrifice, and the 7 families that sacrificed, those that we've lost so far over here fighting Iran, and the families of the 6 that just died in the tanker plane accident, if they can sacrifice for your freedom, can you? Or are you going to sit in your recliner or on your sofa and go, are you going to vote? Are you going to go to your city, county, state governments and voice your opinion on what you need and want to make this country better and your county better and your city better and your state better? Or are you going to let somebody else do it for you? I'm sorry. If you won't, you're not a patriot. You don't care. You might say you do, but you don't.
You work for things you care about. I care about my family. I work for them.
Because ultimately, your children and my children and his children and their children are going to have to live in the country we leave behind. You'll be gone. I'll be gone. What kind of weight are they going to carry? Or are they going to even be able to carry it?
When the progressives started laying out a plan back in the early 20th century, they knew it was not a hurry up and get it done plan. It was a long-term. I can't remember which one even acknowledged that this was going to be something that they were not going to see the fruits of their labor, but it was going to be generations down the road. Look, if I come to him and say I'm going to rob him of what money he has, and I go to him and I take everything in his checking account, he's going to notice that right off the bat. He's going to go, hey, man, I'm missing all my money. But if I steal a penny here and a nickel there and a dime here, he's not going to see it. And if I do that long enough, and then my kid does it, and his kid does it, and so forth and so on, ad nauseum, we're going to bankrupt him a penny at a time. And that's how our freedoms have been taken away in this country. It wasn't, they didn't come in one day and say, all right, we're going to tax you, we're going
to tax you to death.
Yeah, they a nickel here and a nickel there.
Mondani's doing over there in.
Oh, yeah, he's doing a great job.
I'm going to tell you what, that man right there is going to be lucky to have anybody living in his city. Because they're jumping ship.
He won't let them leave. I mean, they can leave, but they can't sell the property. And he's got so many restrictions on how they sell the property and who they can sell it to. Yeah. God bless you, New York. If you
I feel for you guys. You guys that are in New York, I really do. I pray that God does something for you guys.
Yeah. And not everybody.
I'll be honest with you. I've got some New Yorkers that I absolutely love. I've got some friends I've made up in that area and on out into the western part of the state over in Buffalo. And I love your guys' attitude. I love your food. I love, you guys, based on what I see, I do not understand how a lifelong American citizen patriot of the city of New York would even allow this stuff to go on. I cannot believe it. I can't believe it.
It's almost as if they buzzed in a bunch of people that were going to vote for him anyway.
People used to come in on boats and they'd come across the ocean, man. And they had so many dreams. And you read stories, actual stories where people are on the boat and they get closer to the United States and they see the Statue of Liberty and their heart wells up because they know now I can do anything I want to do when I become a legitimate United States citizen, I can live my dreams. When they seen that Statue of Liberty on the horizon.
That don't mean squat.
At New York. Now, I don't know.
The man was apologizing for 9/11. Not to American citizens, but to the other side.
Like I said, guys, spiritual battle here. These people have a belief system that is run by the devil. Period. If it is against life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, if it is against what that word says, there's only one answer, and that is evil.
Yeah. Because it's a spiritual war.
Now, so some of our normal watchers out there, they're looking at me right now, going, "Wait a minute, this is the same guy that's talking about love the other day, man. This guy looks like he's mad." I'm not mad, guys. I'm concerned. I'm concerned because the people that we're up against right now believe this nonsense to the point to where they will literally die for it. Just like I believe in my country and my God so much that I will die for it. There are people out there right now that will gear up and go in 30 seconds without any hesitation. I know 65-year-old men that would be ready to go in 20 minutes if they had to. I don't understand. I know these people are crazy. I pray for them. I pray that God gets them and changes their heart. But what are we supposed to do? Sit around and let it happen? Just sit around and flip through NBC and CBS and CNN. My God, help me, Lee. Help me, Jesus, help me.
Bless the Lord. Bless the Lord.
Word salad. All the time.
And people are sheep. They buy into it. They just follow. I mean, I don't get it.
You know, I've got friends, and you've heard stories of people that have come from nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I watch videos of people that came over to the United States solely to be a citizen.
Yeah.
They wanted to be an American.
They want to assimilate.
Yeah. You know, a man comes over, and when he gets off the boat, he's got a suitcase and $16.
Yeah. I know the story.
He becomes a U.S. citizen, a legitimate, tax-paying, law-abiding United States citizen. Right?
Yeah.
And in a matter of 10 years, the man's got 3 restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
And he's doing what he loves. There's many, many, many stories out there like that of people that came here because they want to be an American. They want to be in that soup of different people that come from everywhere to experience the American dream.
The words on the Statue of Liberty says, "Give us you're tired, you're weak, you're."
It does.
It doesn't say, "Give us the people who hate this country."
Yeah.
And want to destroy it from within. And,
right.
And by the way, we're gonna make them senators and Congress people. It's not what it says. If you go to Germany right now, they have no problem with you in Germany or anywhere else.
No.
But you have to obey the German laws or Mexican laws. I've been to Mexico several times. I mean, growing up in Texas, going to Mexico is just a rite of passage. But I had to follow the Mexican laws. I couldn't go down there and say, you know, unalive Mexico. They'd be like, "You got to go, bub."
Right.
And it just irks me that we're so passive as a nation. We're just like, Well, we don't want to hurt their feelings. I mean, that's their culture. Yeah, that's great. That's their culture. But whenever I go to another land, I've got to follow their customs.
Yeah.
I don't go there and say, hey, Persia, in America, we do this. So you got to do this to accomplish. They're going to say, Bubba, go home.
Yeah. You need to get out of here.
If I'm lucky, they tell me to go home. If I'm not lucky, they'll lock me up in jail.
Yeah. Probably the other.
Yeah.
So this is not a hate thing. Okay. This is not a color thing.
No.
Okay. This is an American thing. It doesn't have to do anything with hate.
The only colors we care about is red, white, and blue. I don't care if you're black, white, green, or blue.
That's it. Color means absolutely nothing to me. Nothing at all. Your nationality means absolutely nothing to me.
Matter of fact, that's one thing that has made this country so great is because we've been a melting pot.
Exactly.
And we have accepted people from all over the world with the premise, the idea that when you come to America, you've been American. Now, we won't tell you, hey, you can't celebrate your culture. You can't celebrate. No,
right.
Absolutely.
Jews do it all the time.
Yeah, knock yourself out. But be an American. You know, and these people that say, well, you know, this place was so great or that place was so great. I was like, if I told you, man, Texas was so great, you're going to, first thing you ask me is, well, why don't you go back if it's so awesome? Or if I was constantly, well, North Carolina stinks, blah, 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 Texas was so great. You're going to say, well, then go home where you think it's great.
Right.
Ask yourself, if these people are coming from countries by the millions and they complain about America, but they say their homeland was so great, why did they leave in the first place?
Right.
They don't want to be part of America. And again, I don't care what your religion is. I don't care what your political affiliation is. If you want to be an American and you want to abide by our laws, you can come to my house and put your feet under my table, and we will share recipes and we'll sing songs from your homeland. I have no problem with that. Just be an American. Follow our laws.
You know, my brother said something yesterday on the phone, and it really hit home with me. He said, America is an experiment. Okay? But see what happens if you do an experiment. Okay? If you do an experiment and everything, all of the ingredients and what you do in the experiment is correct, then it's going to work. Right? Freedom. Freedom itself will backfire on you if God's not in it, number one, because it was based on that, and love is not in it. If you don't have those two things, your nation will not stay free. Freedom will backfire on you. And see, that's what's going on right now. These people over here that are causing all these issues are basing the fact that they're doing what they can do because on the fact that they're free in the United States. Okay, freedom will backfire on you if you don't have those two ingredients. What did Christ say before he ascended? We talked about it.
Yeah. Love one another.
Love one another. That's one of the reasons that everybody wanted to be a part of America, because their color didn't matter. None of it mattered. They just came over and they built skyscrapers and they worked together and they helped each other and they took each other bread and helped their neighbor with food and bought them gas when they didn't have no money and did things for them. And when an elderly woman had an issue, they cut her flipping grass. They didn't ask for a dime.
Nor did they care what religion, what race, or what anything else they were.
I mean, some of these people would go and do something for their neighbor, and you know what they got paid with? A hot, fresh apple pie. Well, let me tell you something, man. I'd rather have a hot, fresh apple pie with cinnamon on top of it, or somebody I went over and cut a little bush out of their yard with a glass of milk than $500. Do you know why? Because the connection that I am making with these people lasts longer than the $500 I put in my pocket. This is a godly nation. It was founded on godly principles. And freedom will backfire on you if it is not there. Once it is taken away, freedom backfires.
You open the door for the enemy to come in.
Freedom itself will be your enemy. I can't believe I'm saying that, but it's the truth.
Well, okay, you've got free speech. Right now, you're exercising your free speech.
Right now.
Right now, yeah. For
At
the
the
time being,
moment.
for the time being, First Amendment, you've got free speech.
Yeah, at the moment.
But that doesn't mean that
Yeah.
I can go into a crowded movie theater and yell fire. Okay?
Right.
I have freedoms in this country. As long as my freedoms don't negatively affect anybody else, then I can keep those freedoms.
Right.
You know, it's like, well, there's a lot of things it's like, but and when they're exercising their freedom and it's negatively impacting the country or their neighbors in the county, the city, whatever, and people who sit on the stool and do nothing are like, well, it's their right. No, it's not their right to fight this country. It's not their right to come here and say, unalive. I hate saying that. TikTok changed that rule, but unalive to America and burning the flags. You know, you want to burn the flag, burn the flag. But that tells me a lot of things about your character that you need to go back.
Stop right there. Because my head was saying the same thing.
Yeah.
You have the freedom and the rights to take our flag and burn it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know when you're supposed to burn it? It's supposed to be disposed of in a certain way. If it's tore up, you take it down. You don't let it touch the ground. You fold it up and then you burn it or you bury it. But you do not just throw it in the trash. But you have the right to just burn it for no reason. But if you are a true patriot and you love your country and what it's founded on, and you love your life that this country has given you, along with God, you will have respect for that flag.
For the men and women who made that flag possible.
The amount of blood that has been shed for you and me from Christ all the way down to now would fill the White House to the roof.
I believe since the founding of the country to this day, we have lost 6 million people, military. 6 million.
That's just military.
Yeah, just military.
Yeah, that's not patriots out there, the rebels out there helping the military and all that. Okay, there's people like us, like me and him, that gun up and went out and actually helped fight for our country. Did they die for nothing?
That's up to us. I got you.
Why did they fight? Did they fight for nothing?
Well, it wasn't for money. It wasn't for fame.
Wasn't for money. Wasn't for fame. Wonder what it was for. Can somebody tell me? Freedom. Freedom.
If we don't protect it, if we don't stand up for it,
we're going to lose it.
Yeah.
If we don't stand up for our freedoms, we will lose them. Because the enemy is not only at the gates, it's in the yard.
My brother here has a beautiful house. Him and his wife have just made a beautiful home where they decorated their yard. Anytime you drive by here in the summertime, I've never seen a blade of grass out of place. No, I don't stalk your yard. I do a little bit. Yeah, I do a little bit because I'm like, man, this yard look good.
Well, the only reason I do is because I get therapy from riding my lawnmower.
Hey, whatever, the outcome's the same.
Look, man, I got to tell you about my therapy. John Deere, right?
Right.
Ice cold bottle of water, sunglasses, over the ears, Bluetooth headset, and a good classic Rush album.
I do the same therapy.
Beating in my brain while I was going. Right.
Striping lines, baby. But if he doesn't take care of this beautiful home, it's going to rot.
Yeah.
It'll rot from the outside. It'll rot from the inside because every day there's all kinds of forces that come against it, whether it's storms, tornadoes, hurricanes, ice storms. And that's one day in North Carolina, okay?
Yeah.
Not to mention termites, vermin, outside people who might want to do bad. So he's got to be vigilant and not only care for the way it looks, but he's got to care for the foundation. And the minute he stops, it starts declining. And our country is the same way. You know, our great whatever grandfathers fought in the Revolutionary War. Our great whatever grandfathers fought in the Civil War, the Spanish American War, the First World War, the Second War.
Yeah.
But if we don't protect the legacy that they have left us, it's like when my father passed, he gave me certain things. Well, I have tried my best to protect those things. So when I leave the world, I got you this time, I can pass those on to my kids. But if we don't do that, I don't even know if I'm being heard right now.
Yeah, you're being heard. But
if we don't do that, then our kids are not going to be able to enjoy the legacy that we were gifted. And it's all up to all of us to protect what freedoms we were given. So our kids and grandkids and so forth and so on.
Right.
You know, 100 years from now, they can say, man, our country was almost lost at the 250th
So basically what you're saying is freedom is cultivated.
Right.
In other words, you know, you love your country. You do your best for your city or your township or your county and your state and your country. And you give and you try and you help and you cultivate that into your children and they cultivate that into their children, and freedom is passed down and the love for country and the patriotism is passed from child to child to child. Just like that Bible. Raise a child up in the ways that it should go, and when it grows older, it shall not depart from it.
My grandmother stood in a church in Statesville, North Carolina, 35 years ago. She had 2 daughters who were Christians, and the other 3 kids were not. They weren't bad people. They just weren't Christians.
Yeah.
And she stood up and she asked the pastor every time the church doors were open, pray for my kids and my grandkids that they get saved. She left this world a few years after that. And the only 2 kids she had that were in church were those 2 that she knew about. Fast forward 30 years later, almost 40 years later, she has dozens of grandchildren who not only go to church, but when I left my home this evening to come to the Jinx compound, the mansion, I had.
It's not a mansion.
He don't want to.
It's a poor man's mansion.
Hey, it's a nice house. You decide to get rid of it, you holler at me first. But I think I had 7 or 8 kids under the age of 21 in my house. Now, they could have been watching movies. They could have been doing. No, they were singing gospel music. They were playing music. They were singing songs. They were working on this song.
Yeah.
Those kids could be anywhere. And the reason that some of them are there is because some little old West Virginia hillbilly woman who probably didn't weigh 90 pounds soaking wet in her youth stood in a church and said, y'all pray for my grandkids. Y'all pray for my kids. Those prayers went up around the throne of God and are still there today, still being answered.
Yeah.
And that's a legacy that her and my grandfather have passed on
for
the last 100 years. And
there you go,
we've got to do that for our kids and our grandkids, not just for patriotism, not just for freedom and love of country, but for the love of Christ. And if you don't know Christ as your personal Lord and Savior, man and or woman, what are you waiting on?
Yeah.
Are you waiting for the trumpet to sound and you're standing there with your thumb stuck in your ear and your grandma's gone and graves are empty? Is that what you're waiting for? Because if that's what you're waiting for, that's dangerous. Are you waiting for tomorrow? Because, I want to finish my sin and everything. Bubba, you might not make it till tomorrow.
No, sir.
And that's why we brought up this deal with Persia, Iran, whatever you want to call it.
Right. That's typically not what we do.
No.
You know, we're Christian focused. But we felt led to do this because, number one, we want you guys to understand that we're like you. We love our country. We're patriots, okay? I have plenty of pew-pew. Plenty. I have pew-pew on me.
Got to protect that mansion.
Right now. But I love God.
Yeah.
I love Christ. That does not make me a bad person. It does not. One more thing before we go. We have to remember that the church was started by Jesus Christ. But ultimately, everything going on in this earth at the moment centers solely around the Jewish people. Okay? Every bit of it. Israel is the apple of God's eye. The end times are coming, and they're coming fast. And Israel's going to get a spanking. When it says every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess that I am Lord, right? Did you notice it didn't say that I am God? I don't know if you guys have realized that or not. That scripture says every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess that I am Lord, right? Then who is that talking? Because Israel, to this very day, denies that Jesus Christ was the Messiah.
Yeah.
Okay? All right? So in the end times, when all of these countries come together as one against Israel, God himself is going to come down and defeat them. Because Israel is the apple of God's eye. They are God's people. And that's why they have been abused so much throughout history. Jesus said, if they hate me, they'll hate you. They don't like us Christians. But we got to remember, we're the church. They are not. But it's all about them. Even us. Our destiny in that word, and all the way to the end, is for one purpose. Israel.
We were grafted onto the vine.
We were grafted onto the vine. Exactly.
Yeah.
We're grafted on. Because we're the church. We're that church that has to be pulled out before the end times can start. Right? So we have a purpose. We're supposed to be Christ's spirit on earth. So that being said, we love everybody. Hope you guys got something out of this. I did. I feel so much better because I had to get a lot of this stuff off my chest.
He's not lying. He called me up. He was like,
I could not believe it, man. I listened to some of the stuff these Democrats are talking about, man, and I'm like, are these people even human beings? I mean, honest to God, are they from another planet or something? Because there's not one tiny microscopic bit of common sense in any of it at all. So we love y'all. Come back next week, and we're definitely not going to be as political. But like I said, we definitely this needed to be said.
Yeah.
I mean, we need to follow our heart, and that's what we did on this episode, which is episode 21. Woo!
Hey, yeah,
episode 21. So far, we're doing really good. We're trying to get our roots dug in. You guys share us out there all you like. We really appreciate it. Hopefully, as things progress on our YouTube page, we're going to be moving our home base there. And YouTube will ultimately be our powerhouse. That's where we're going to be calling home.
That's the promised land for right now. We just got to fight a few giants and cross a few rivers.
That's it. We got to get to that point where we can go live for however long we want to be live.
And y'all have helped tremendously.
Yeah,
so
really.
This is a team effort.
Yeah. So if you guys can help us, share us on YouTube too, because we really need it. And we have to get to how many? 1,000?
Yeah.
We have to get to 1,000 subscribers in order to do what we're doing now. and not have to break things up so much, you know.
And even if you disagree with us, you think we're crazy, share us to all your friends so you can make fun of us.
Yeah,
we're
make fun
okay
of
with
us.
that.
I don't care.
I'm okay with getting the word in front of people that
I don't
completely
care.
disagree with it.
Right.
Because they're still hearing the word.
Exactly. Yeah, there you go, brother.
So.
Yeah, I'm still quoting scripture. So if that scripture is coming out to people that hate me, it's still coming out at them. So share
if we
it.
can't go in the front door, we'll go through a bedroom window. We don't care.
That's a fact. I do not care. So
absolutely.
Take care of yourself, brother. I love you, man. Thanks for coming out, man. Can't wait till the next one.
Yeah, I know, right?
We've been having some real good conversations lately, dude.
Yeah, Saturday.
This one here was less of a conversation, more me going, but you know.
You had to get off your chest.
I tried my best.
You were going to blow a gas. It was dangerous.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, but I'm a guy. You know, I'm a man. So, you know, we carry a lot of weight, and sometimes we got to pop the cork. So, so take care. We love you guys. Take care of yourself. Hopefully our friend Chris is okay. We haven't seen him tonight. I don't know if he's preaching. Maybe he's got something going on.
See, that's what I was saying. I bet he's holding some kind of.
He may have some kind of a tent service, something going on.
If you know Chris, tell him that if he was preaching tonight, we'd appreciate a video.
Yeah, we would like to have that. That'd be cool. Yeah, that would be awesome.
Matter of fact, we really, really like good preaching.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
definitely. I like it.
So go to church tomorrow.
Go to church. Read your Bible.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you're
you guys, I hope you've seen. I put up this. I think the meme's up on. I know it's up on our Facebook account, but I put up a meme that has a guy with a sword, and above his head it says "watching podcasts," and there's another guy with a sword standing there, and it says "reading your Bible." And the guy with the podcast stuff over his head goes like this, "Ha ha!" with the sword, "Ha ha ha!" and he holds it out. And the guy with the other sword knocks the other sword out of his hand. So podcasts are good. You can learn a lot from a podcast. You can. But there's nothing better for learning than reading the Word of God. Get in your Bible. Take care, everybody.